So I guess I want to ask you how you got it. So you started your business, and have you been in the same location? How has it grown? Like, how did you get started? How has it grown? I heard you guys are opening another part of your gym. You're renting the next door part now as well.
Yeah, it's, for the first year, I was really running kind of as a private trainer that had some group classes.
Yeah.
And that was working. The classes were growing, but I wasn't offering enough classes to really make it available to enough people. Because, some people couldn't come at 6 in the morning, and some people couldn't come at noon, and I didn't even have a noon class. So I bit the bullet. I took on, a couple of my students were really, committed. Becca and Dawn and Rose were all really super committed students, and they all kind of got CrossFit. And so I gathered them together. We created some additional classes that they could teach, and we started offering more classes. And then I started taking my private clients and funneling them into classes, like almost forcing them in.
Okay.
I lost some in the process because not everybody that's a private client wants to be in a group setting or gets it. Mm-hmm. And I think that was part of the natural progression of growth. You can't expect to keep everybody that you currently have, because it's a whole different paradigm. So a lot of people didn't want anything to do with CrossFit. I mean, it was freaking way too hard for them. So and then this past year we've kind of implemented a whole bunch of new strategies that is now kind of catapulted us. We have over 120 regular paying clients who come in every single week. And we just rented an additional 500 square feet in the building next to us. We're busting a hole in the wall, and we're going to open up another area next door.
Right on.
So it's really, we've had a lot of growth since about 8 months ago. We started this whole new thing.
So it was by adding the classes, the trainers, getting the bigger space.
Yeah, it's funny because I met a guy in December who has a lot of experience in martial arts. And he was intrigued by CrossFit. He'd been to the CrossFit site. He's a web marketer person. And he was really intrigued by CrossFit and what it was doing to the world of fitness. Mm-hmm. And we sat down and we had a meeting, and he was telling me of his experience in martial arts and how he had helped a few martial arts facilities in Florida go from like 2 locations to 15 locations in like 2 years or a year. It was kind of ridiculous. He showed me their websites. He showed me what they had done. And so we talked about how to implement a lot of the strategies and reshape the strategies that martial arts world used in CrossFit. And the first meeting we had, he pulled out a piece of paper and he listed about 40 things. And I was like, yeah, that's nice.
Can I have that checklist?
I took the checklist. He goes, I want you to take this with you. It's all proprietary. It's all out of my head. So, but even if you have all this stuff, you won't be able to do it. Like, it's just so overwhelming, the amount of stuff that I had to do. Uh-huh. And I didn't really know how to do it. So I hired him. I hired him as a consultant, and he and I have been working for the last, right away. I mean, the business turned around in about 60 days.
Wow. Complete
turnaround. I mean, not that it was bad before, but complete explosion up. And so since that time, we've talked about creating a seminar for other affiliates to learn how to basically CrossFit your business. And I'm very resistant to that. I'm very, I love CrossFitting, and if I have my choice in a day, I'll head to the gym and do a CrossFit workout much sooner than I'll make 10 calls to potential leads. So he's really been instrumental in almost forcing me to hold myself accountable to business and to CrossFit my business rather than just CrossFit me. We're working on presenting that and maybe offering that as a 2-day, it obviously be paid seminar mm-hmm. to learn this system that we have kind of created and implemented, and it's like an 88-head monster. There's a lot of stuff. None of it's super hard, but if you don't do the whole thing, it won't have the same impact.